11 Alive News at 5 p.m. starts now.
First at 5, some major news out of Fulton County. A grand jury has now been sworn in to handle the possible indictment of former President Donald Trump. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. I'm Faith Jesse.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy. Fulton County impaneled 2 grand juries today, one of which could spend days or even weeks deciding whether to bring criminal charges related to the 2020 presidential election. 11 Alive's Doug Richards is live for us this evening from the courthouse. Doug.
Yeah, about 100 Fulton County residents got dwindled down during the course of the grand jury, the process of picking jurors, dwindled down to 2 grand juries, one of which will handle sort of normal courthouse business, and the other, which is expected to spend the next couple of weeks, maybe more, listening to an election interference case against former President Trump.
A grand jury decides whether there's probable cause, whether there's more likely than not.
Grand jury proceedings are secret, but Judge Robert McBurney gave the jury pool a public greeting in the hope that at least half of them could serve on the 2 grand juries. Georgia law says grand juries must have no fewer than 16 and no more than 23 members, plus 2 or 3 alternates. To return an indictment, 12 grand jurors must vote yes.
There's this saying that says a prosecutor can indict a ham sandwich at a grand jury.
Former DeKalb DA Robert James says this would be no ordinary indictment.
I would say when you're dealing with a public official or a police officer, that is absolutely not true. It can be tough.
James expects prosecutors to spend days presenting evidence against the former president of illegal election interference. That evidence includes a recording of a phone call made to the Georgia Secretary of State in January 2021 asking him to find votes from the 2020 election that had not been cast for Trump. Because it's likely many of the grand jurors have strong opinions about Trump, James says the DA's office will have to present more evidence than it might in, say, an armed robbery case.
Well, I don't want to say it's a mini trial, but they will present a lot of the evidence that they're going to present at trial. They may even call witnesses. Because these grand jurors are going to want more than just a word of a Fulton County DA's investigator.
And in addition to presenting a case and perhaps getting an indictment, James says that Fulton County prosecutors can kind of use this proceeding as a dry run for a jury trial, presenting as much evidence as they can and then getting live feedback from the jurors who are allowed to question them during the grand jury proceeding and helping them weigh which evidence works and which doesn't. Live at the Fulton County Courthouse, Doug Richards, 11 Alive News.
All right, Doug, thank you so much. Meanwhile, you can read much more about the investigation and this entire grand jury process on our website, 11alive.com.